Have you ever opened TikTok or Netflix and felt like the entire app is just ads, promos, and content you never asked for? Maybe you realized one day that posts from accounts you follow have basically vanished, replaced by sponsored content and boosted creators. That decline has a name: Enshittification. And it isn't just a glitch, it's a business model. In information studies, enshittification describes a predictable pattern where platforms deteriorate over time. Cory Doctorow defines it as a three-stage cycle where platforms first serve users, then shift benefits to business customers, and finally extract all remaining value for themselves. To see how the harm happens, we need to examine the mechanisms. Platforms like TikTok and Netflix initially treat users extremely well. This is strategic. Platforms begin by allocating their investor-funded surplus to end users so they can lock people in through network effects. The service becomes more valuable as more people join. This race to dominate data and user activity is part of the core logic of platform capitalism because data is the raw material of digital accumulation. Once you've invested, switching becomes hard. Leaving Netflix means losing your personalized algorithmic library. Leaving TikTok means losing your For You page identity, your creators, and your history. This state is called mutual hostage taking, when users hate the platform but can't quite quit because their history, data, and digital identity live there. Platforms intentionally structure their ecosystems to make this lock-in profitable because data concentration is what drives platform dominance. Once users and businesses are trapped, platforms flip the switch. Ads multiply. Sponsored content replaces the accounts people actually follow. Netflix pushes its own originals over third-party content. TikTok floods feeds with pay-to-boost content. Platforms increasingly prioritize extraction over user well-being, optimizing for engagement, manipulation, and monetization rather than genuine service. When users push back, platforms turn to the law. For example, DMCA 1201 allows companies to treat bypassing software locks, like installing an ad blocker, as a felony punishable by prison. This consolidation of computational control doesn't just harm convenience, it enables powerful forms of political manipulation and surveillance. All of this leads to a collapsed user experience. Platforms become frustrating, repetitive, and demoralizing. What began as a useful space becomes a giant pile of junk. With profits prioritized over trust, privacy collapses. Weak U.S. privacy protections allow platforms to track protest attendance, health-related searches, and other sensitive data harms. The final stage of enshittification leads to a global digital ghost mall, full of scams, bots, and low-value content. This matters because the internet is now our public square. It's where people organize movements, find information, and participate in democracy. It's where we fight real battles, like misinformation, climate change, inequality, and threats to democracy, and much more. When that space degrades, so does the public's ability to act collectively. So, enshittification isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. By relying on network effects, high switching costs, aggressive commercialization, and laws that restrict user control, platforms slowly transform into exploitive systems that damage the digital environments people depend on for community, information, and democracy. When platforms prioritize extraction over people, the public pays the price, and our digital world becomes weaker, more limited, and less free.